People are dying. Yeah. The president's lying. But how are you? That's right. We're not here to get political. This is the Shoot Brothers Wrestling Podcast. It has nothing to do with that stuff. We're here to talk some wrestling. We're here to talk about the greatest wrestling match ever, maybe. It depends what our opinions are. I don't know. There's a lot. There's piss jars. People are getting splashed. There's title matches galore. We got everything on this episode of the Shoot Brothers Podcast. Because I am your host, Mike the Shoot Shepherd, joined as always by Cameron Thunder Osborne.
I'm here on the other end because we are a mere days removed from what can only be known as the greatest wrestling match ever.
It will always be written that way.
I mean, it was on the poster. I don't think any other posters ever said that. No. So
we've had the greatest Royal Rumble.
We have had the greatest Royal Rumble. Although I think they meant that in the large sense.
Yes,
like it's
they
great
did.
and grand, not it was the best. But of course, you're putting Randy Orton and Edge in a ring. You are going to produce the greatest wrestling match ever because Backlash happened. Backlash happened. It didn't happen last year, though, right? I think.
I don't know. It's weird. It's been one of those ones that's kind of been shuffled around over the years.
And honestly, it's not like it's a good name that you would think about keeping. Like, we need to have another Backlash because it's a great name.
Because it doesn't make sense now because you had Money in the Bank before it. Whereas before, Backlash was always the one right after WrestleMania. So it was like the Backlash, the Fallout. Now it's just a random name.
There was a 1 or 2 year span where it was the pay-per-views leading up to Mania where was like a Roadblock. Roadblock was the one right before. And then they put Payback somewhere else or something. And you're like, God, you're going down the road. You're going down the road to WrestleMania, and then you hit a
fast lane.
You hit a roadblock. Yeah, and then you're on the fast lane to WrestleMania. Then you hit a roadblock. It's almost perfect.
But then the past couple of years, they brought back Elimination Chamber, which is much better.
Of course,
Have a roadblock
on the way. The roadblock, the fast lane. See, I'll only remember fast lane as the time that KO jobbed out to Goldberg. That's what fast lane is to me.
Nothing like really positive, big, memorable moments.
No, there was.
I remember Daniel Bryan lost to Roman Reigns. There was all these disappointing.
I think there was a good fatal 5-way AJ plus the SmackDown crew. But
once you say AJ, you can just stop there, and I know it's
as soon as you put AJ style in your mouth, nothing's going to be bad. No, I'll always think Fastlane is Kevin Owens losing in like 28 seconds or something. Something too silly. But before we do get to Backlash, of course, that was the pay-per-view that happened. We do have a couple things that happened not 1 day before, but 2 days before. Because if you remember, kids, pay-per-views happen on Sunday. 1 day before Sunday is a Saturday. There's nothing going on a Saturday. There's no wrestling programming. But if you go the day before, 2 days before Sunday, that's right, it's Friday. And only one thing happens on Friday. That is SmackDown Live. Okay, folks, it's Friday night. It's time for SmackDown Live. It used to be on Tuesday, but then I think it was on Friday before, though. No, wait, they used to film it on a Thursday and then release it. It's just SmackDown Live. And still saying live. Still saying live.
Let's just. I think.
I'm not gonna stop. I'm not going to stop.
even though I think it was taped, but that's fine.
Even though it's not even live anymore, and but it's still SmackDown Live.
But that's all. Yeah, I guess technically
it is.
Whatever.
It is still the house that AJ Styles built. Of course, we have some matches that are going to be on the card. We have we got some women's action coming up, and we do have the culmination of this Intercontinental Championship tournament.
Yes, but before all that, we have to have a contract signing. For what? It's not for a title. It's just for a regular match.
A good old match. Hardy. I mean, presumably you have to sign a contract either way.
I guess so, yeah. It's like you're liable. You know, if I die in the ring, I'm not going to hold WWE responsible, things like that.
I wonder what those prop contracts actually say.
Yeah, if you get a hold.
And has Vince ever screwed somebody? Well, it's like, you signed the prop contract.
It's like, you signed the prop. It actually says here.
It actually says this is the real contract.
Yeah, imagine. But anyways, we got that signing. Jeff Hardy, Sheamus come out, but Sheamus has this. He's got a doctor with him. He's got this little black screening area because we're gonna have a good old live urine test. Apparently,
classic live urine test. Something we've seen on television. We see this on television all the time.
Yeah. So Sheamus like, oh, I'm not wrestling a junkie. The same shit he's been saying all week. So Jeff's like, fuck it, I'll do it. He gets behind the little magician's prop curtain thing they got. Him and the doctor, and he takes a big old piss. He must be dehydrated. I don't know how he got that much liquid out.
And it was reminiscent of that scene in Goldmember, in Austin Powers Goldmember, when he's behind the fountain. He unplugs the fountain by accident, so he has to keep peeing as though he's the person in the fountain, and then he's just drinking water, and then his pee flow is going even further and further. It was almost like that. Jeff Hardy it was just flowing through him.
Yeah, but so anyway, as soon as that piss comes in play, I think we all know where this is going.
See, I didn't.
Well, I know Vince McMahon too well.
Is this on me? You know Vince way better than I know Vince. I didn't see this one coming.
So they get out. Yeah, Sheamus is berating him. The doctor dips his little test strip in the piss to conduct the test. And then Jeff grabs the cup, and he's like, hey, Sheamus, it's better to be pissed off than pissed on. And he tosses the jar at Sheamus.
But which isn't technically being pissed on. Like, there is a difference between having urine thrown at your face and then being peed on. Like, two very different things.
Very different, but still the outcome is pretty much the same.
And I was most surprised, like you said, there was so much in that glass there. Every time, if ever I go to get blood work done,
it's like...
You need like 12 hours of fasting oftentimes, right? And
no liquid after midnight and shit like that.
And I like to go right in the morning so I can come home and actually eat a breakfast. And I think this past like 2 or 3 times I've gone to get blood work done, they've surprised me with the urine test. And it's like it's just part of the things you check, I guess. My doctor just kind of checked it off.
When they do it there, they only give you like a shot glass size thing.
Well, that's the thing. But I mean, sometimes you go first thing in the morning, you haven't had any food or water. I'm often sipping from the sink in the bathroom, trying to get something to like go through my body enough.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy had no problem with that. He's been taking urine tests his whole life, and now it's on Sheamus. I'm excited for this matchup.
Yeah, so he's covered in piss. Some got it in his mouth. He just stumbles around gagging, and the crowd chants, "You got pissed on."
You got pissed on.
Yeah, nice class. This whole angle's been class. From a drunk driving to a piss throw to a...
Yeah, you know what? The angle's been weird. I think I would say that this might have been my favorite segment of this angle yet. I don't know why. I don't know.
I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it. I feel like everything else was, in the whole, the Elias thing, everything in the parking lot, which is already, as we know, is the most dangerous place in America.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think I am excited for this match. And anytime there is one of those, the contract signing or the final stare off before the pay-per-view, I'm really just asking myself, did it make me more excited?
Yeah, in this case, it did.
I think it did. It made me more excited for what we'll see in a couple days.
Yeah. And then backstage, as he's washing up, the doctor just comes up to confirm that the results are negative. He's clean.
Clean pee, baby.
Yeah. So at least Sheamus got that going for him. The pee was clean.
at least there was no booze in it, in the piss.
What else happened? We get the return of Tucker. Finally, Otis is backstage and Tucky's back. He presents hamburgers to Otis, and then Mandy comes up and kisses him. And she's like, "Don't forget this." Gives him a little money in the bank case.
And we're actually getting that in the main event. You know what? The past few weeks of SmackDown for me has been I've been so much more invested in this IC title tournament. I'm forgetting that Braun Strowman's champion and that Otis is Mr. Money in the Bank. And we had a couple weeks of Otis was getting more TV time than Braun was, and when Braun's been on TV, it's been Mizmo fucking with him. It's
pretty much. It's been
a little weird over there in the main event scene of SmackDown.
But one thing I do like is the Intercontinental title. It feels really elevated right now. Like it could be the top title on SmackDown.
Well, certainly. Let's just get to that match because I think I can very not controversially say this is two of the best professional wrestlers on the planet in a free match on television. Yeah.
This was, it's just fantastic. The finals, Intercontinental title. They showed a nice little retrospective before the match. Yeah, two of the best ever, like you said.
Yeah.
Just back and forth, technical wrestling. They're doing all these innovative submissions, working over the limbs. Styles hits his style in DDT, which he doesn't do too often these days.
That looks so. He has such an arsenal of shit that he just doesn't do anymore.
Yeah, there's moves. He's like, I'll pull that out every 3 years.
Forget it. Yeah. Like, oh shit! I forgot you had. I mean, we're so used to his, just his clash and his big ol' elbows.
Yeah. So we get some more, a bunch of great moves. Bryan's got the crowd, the Full Sail crowd's fully behind him. He goes for that big running knee, but AJ catches him midair, hits a Styles Clash. Great reversal. But he doesn't pin him right away. Instead, he crawls to the ropes, and he hits the phenomenal forearm just to put the final mark on it. Okay, win his first ever Intercontinental title. Great match.
Incredible. In a great match. A lot of payback for AJ Styles. I think the last time these two guys were in a ring together, AJ Styles got nutted.
Yeah, he kicked in the balls, lost his title.
He got kicked in the nuts, lost his title. So it was and that was like 2 years ago, and these guys put on as great of a match. Like, it seems like time has not affected these two guys at all.
No, I could watch them go again anytime.
Again, just on repeat. I could watch AJ Styles on repeat for sure.
Yeah. Then they show a little hype video for Matt Riddle. So he's officially going to debut on SmackDown this week, I guess, this Friday.
Very exciting. Very exciting. The old bro. It's going to be fun to see how the Full
all these
Sail
matchups,
crowd.
Riddle Bryan, Riddle AJ, Riddle Cesaro, all these things.
Riddle Cesaro, it would be nuts.
Just two strong dudes.
And it'll probably happen. Cesaro's been jobbing to everybody on the roster for the last 3 years.
He's the first level boss you face when you get to the show.
Yeah, he's the first boss that you face on the main roster, working your way up. It's going to be so great. Matt Riddle, Shinsuke.
Yeah, Shinsuke, anything. So many
possibilities. Real excited for that.
Yes. But let's jump into the main event, I suppose. Braun Strowman's teaming up with Heavy Machinery, who's finally back together, to take on Ziggler, Morrison, and Miz. Nothing special during the match. Baron Corbin pops up, or he approaches Mandy backstage, so Otis has to run off, abandoning his team to beat up Corbin. Mm-hmm. But they come back eventually. Otis gets the hot tag, gets the Caterpillar, gets the win, and then Strowman just tosses bodies around, so the babyface celebrate. No cash-in tease.
No, and there hasn't even been a tease of it.
No.
Usually we
for like 2 seconds there was.
Yeah, usually we will get that. Maybe they were lingering somewhere close by or something like that.
Or the false cash-in where they run in, they're about to hand it over, and the ref's like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" But then they get knocked out.
Because it seems like, and at least, the last time we had a babyface Money in the Bank winner. Maybe it's been a while. It's a weird character for that babyface to play, too, because, you think of, Brock... just kind of lingering around. Baron Corbin did the same thing. His cash-in was a match, which was kind of weird. Certainly, I think it was Corbin the year before that.
Yeah.
Those guys can definitely play that sort of I can be a piece of shit, but I'm not gonna cash it in. The smart Vince McMahon babyface is it's too dumb to do that.
But is Otis that smart?
That's what I wonder. Yeah, it's like
maybe
Mandy
he's dumb
Rose
enough
brought it
to be
him.
able to.
He's
be
almost
successful.
forgotten he has the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah. But I would have swapped this with the Bryan AJ match for the main event, but no big deal.
Which was a weird choice too. Yeah, you think you would want your you thought would be the viewers could wait until the end. Maybe they wanted to make sure they had the time on it, right? You can cut that.
That's true,
cut the main event short a little bit, but you want to give AJ and Daniel Bryan all the time in the world.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But that is your SmackDown, all the important bits at least.
That was all the important things that were happening on SmackDown because, there's not really a because. It just was all the important things. It just was all the important things that happened on SmackDown. So let's move on. Let's move 48 hours into the future from where we are because we have a pay-per-view to talk about.
Review.
Backlash was probably supposed to be live from some normal town in the United States, but now it's not.
Yeah.
Is that a Full Sail or is that the PC? I can't tell anymore.
Yeah, I can't tell.
And also, what is Full Sail University? Is Full Sail University a functioning post-secondary institution?
Yeah, WWE, I guess, just owns like their gym,
The gym?
whatever area thing.
But
I don't know.
like, yeah,
Or,
so I guess if you attend Full Sail University, you would not be allowed. Let's say even even when NXT was just there, you wouldn't be allowed to like go to the facilities.
no, but I heard that the students get like first dibs on tickets. If
Oh,
they wanna
that'd be
go
dope.
watch the
That would
show.
be a reason to go to Full Sail University.
Yeah,
Imagine doing
if I was looking at schools in Florida, I would be leaning towards Full Sail.
1,000%. I mean, University of Florida. I don't want to be a Gator. I don't
No.
want to be a Hurricane in the University of Miami. No, I want to get free NXT tickets every single week. That'd be
That's
dope.
right.
That'd be sick. But yeah, we might as well get this pay-per-view coming on because it is going to feature the greatest wrestling. No, we don't know if it's the best, but it's the greatest
Yeah.
wrestling match ever between Edge and Orton. So we know that's going to headline the show. There was probably a pre-show.
There was a pre-show. The best part that I told you about was the new hit music video, the Hey Hey Hey.
It's a hit song. It's a hit.
It is a hit song. Did you watch the video?
Yes, yeah, I watched it after you told me. Often I won't watch the pre-show, but I was
Oh, yeah.
able to find it on YouTube.
You know, it was good. I love the shots, the 80s style, like their faces colliding, the cuts. I don't know. It was great.
Have you while we're on the subject though, have you seen the or heard the R-Truth song?
What's up?
Is that it? Is that like no?
I don't know.
No,
No,
it's a
I'm just
new
kidding.
a new song that he put up was like have him rapping with like
did he release it solo or is it through WWE?
No, it's a solo
Okay.
project. Yeah, nothing.
I don't think I've heard it, but I have heard like some of his previous.
Check
like,
it
I do
out.
know
He's
like an actual. He's into it. He's
He's a rapper. You should check it out. It's definitely on his Instagram somewhere. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube.
Yeah, no, I remember. Like back in TNA days and stuff, he like produced his own theme song and all that shit.
That's cool.
He's a good guy. But yes, there was also one match on the pre-show: Apollo Crews, Andrade, U.S. title. Garza's out there causing shit, so Kevin Owens is on commentary to stop him. But yeah, anyways, Apollo reverses the Hammerlock DDT with the powerbomb, gets the win. He retains. Streak continues.
Fantastic for these guys are gonna have a good match. Technical, high flying, all those sorts of things.
Yeah, but let's go on to the main show here, kicking off with the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Sasha and Bayley defending against Bliss Cross and the Iconics. And for this match, they had all three women in the ring at the same time instead of, sometimes they do where you can tag
Where
anyone.
it's like,
in and out.
there's still two people. So is this one? So what's this? Is this tornado tag? No, that's
not
when
officially
everybody's allowed.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just weird. There's all these rules within. But anyways, the match, I had high hopes going in, but it wasn't quite as much. I'll admit, I think Billie Kay was a little sloppy in this match, a little bit.
Yeah.
She was, the weeks leading up, she looked good, but here she just, I think maybe just that third body in the ring at once, she was lost. She didn't know what to do at times. I don't know. But everyone else stepped up. Sasha looks amazing. Alexa Bliss looks great. Peyton looked good as well. Her big spot was this.
Yeah, she's starting to set herself apart from Billie Kay in the in-ring ability.
Yeah.
I think I noticed in this match more than in previous weeks. You're right. Like Peyton Royce is the much better wrestler.
Yeah, and her big moment was that a little scary looking suicide crossbody where she takes out the whole group through the ropes. But everyone was okay. Eventually, Nikki and Alexa, they hit this cool looking shatter machine into Bliss's DDT move. And then Bliss follows up with a twisted Bliss. But then Sasha just jumps in and does a little pinning maneuver on Alexa and holds her down for the 3 count. So once again, Sasha saves the day. She's doing the heavy lifting here but I love the boss.
Oh, of course you do. You always have. Yeah, but didn't this is another Alexa Bliss taking a pin? You think out of all 6 of those women, or I guess only 4 of those women in the ring could have lost.
Yeah.
I would think Nikki Cross and Billie Kay are going to take that pin. This is not like 2 weeks in a row of.
Well, that was my silver lining. The Iconics didn't win, but they didn't get pinned.
They didn't
so
get pinned, and I think Alexa Bliss and Peyton Royce definitely the 2 of them looked fantastic in this match.
Yeah,
they did the standouts, I'd say.
Yeah, no, and even though Alexa did get pinned, it was like the sneaky steal the win way, so she still doesn't look
And every time the women's tag division is given an opportunity to do a multi-person match or to be showcased, they open the show on this pay-per-view. It's always, we always say the same thing of we see the potential, and we want the belt to just keep being pushed.
Well, yeah, they've been doing good the past 3 or 4 weeks.
They have been.
It continues because before this even happened, they announced that the winner's gonna defend the belts on NXT, which we've been asking for a while.
We have been, yeah, maybe a little rain down there for a couple weeks straight. So hopefully we get some of that on Wednesday.
Yes, but let's get into the next match here: Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy, the piss match, the grudge match. Yeah, so just typical Sheamus. He's just bullying Jeff, clubbing him around like an ogre, ripping his shirt apart. One point, Jeff's leg slammed really hard to the turnbuckle.
Yeah, I saw that too.
But Jeff, he's got that heart. He fights back. He's hitting his signature moves. Hits the Swanton bomb, but Sheamus gets his foot on the rope, breaks the count. So then outside the ring, Jeff tries to run along the barricade, and then he just jumps into a brogue kick from Sheamus. And then he rolls him back in the ring, hits another brogue kick, and gets the win.
I did like that move at the end when he was kind of like grabbing onto the boards. I did think that that was cool. No one's done that since those boards have been put up. Nobody has done that.
No,
so
Jeff,
it was a new thing. Also, I think this was the match. This is where I have noted where I first noticed Mansoor in the crowd, and then I kept seeing him. I don't really recognize any of the other Performance Center people, short of, I'm sure if I were to see a photo of isn't it
it's
like
hard to,
the Rock's niece or something like that?
Yeah, or some of the guys, like I only know them when their name's underneath, like Bronson or like
Bronson Reed,
Kona Reeves, and
yeah,
things
exactly
like that.
But but Mansoor, I just he's their only Saudi Arabian performer, so he stands out. I see him, and I just kept seeing him the whole time. And, it was really funny too. I don't know if you caught, and during the main event at least, either the crowd had Edge shirts on or the crowd had Randy Orton shirts on. It was like every.
Yeah, they were definitely supplying the shirts.
I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, yep, everyone in the building's cheering for Randy Orton or Edge, and then I was starting to wonder. I know a lot of this seems very natural what they're cheering, but do you think like they're told like, hey, we need like more, like 60% of you cheering for this person and only 40% cheering for the person. Like everyone like, put up your hand if you're gonna cheer for Nia Jax, and then everyone's like, okay, they're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, great. Put up your hand if you're gonna cheer for Asuka. Okay, 1, 2.
Maybe they just go by their alignment. Like if you heel, you cheer for the heels.
Yeah,
face.
But yeah, well, I mean, who knows, right? You're down there at the PC. Are you even at a point where you have a thing?
Yeah, I do think they have some freedom because, during NXT and stuff especially, it seemed like there was chants and stuff that were not, like they were interrupting the guy speaking on the microphone and stuff.
And there were a couple holy shits.
Yeah, a couple holy shits.
A couple holy shits.
I don't think there was any in this next match, though, because Asuka defending her Raw Women's Championship against Nia Jax. Not that great of a match, but at least no one got hurt.
Yeah, that's pretty much every Nia Jax match is like, oh, did someone get hurt? No.
At this point, it's
wow,
sad,
that was a great.
That
must be a no. I mean, I think maybe we have to change our phrasing of it. It was a great Nia Jax match because nobody was seriously injured, and she performed that Samoan drop with almost no difficulty. Geez, so tough to say. I mean, Asuka doesn't work well with. Asuka would work better with a more limber, agile type of performer.
Yeah.
I think we've seen this before, right?
Or even a better big woman, like Raquel Gonzalez or something.
Yeah, she'd be fantastic.
But, anyways, the match itself doesn't do much. They fight outside the ring, and they're just so consumed with their brawl that the ref counts them both out. So, unfortunately, that means they're going to have another match.
Yeah, that's what that means. I know. Whenever you see a double count out, you're like, fuck, another month. Yeah. Another month.
But then we get Braun Strowman defending his Universal Championship against The Miz and John Morrison. And whoever pins Braun Strowman becomes sole champion. There is no co-champions allowed, which surprised Mizmo a little bit, I guess.
Which is very important. It's a question.
It's important to know.
It is a question.
It is a singles title,
Exactly. It's a question that does need to be asked.
Yeah. And then Mizmo come out. They replay some of their hit music video, but then Strowman interrupts it with his new little entrance. The Strowman Express, he's now called, I guess. I don't know, choo-choo train.
Choo-choo.
He comes chugging out. Yeah, that's what he should do. His new taunt should just go choo choo.
Yeah, just kind of like how Drew started counting down the Claymore kick.
Yeah.
We need something so that when the crowds come back, we're already on board for it.
Or he'll just start going like building up like.
Everyone's going chugga chugga chugga.
When he does his little runaround thing on the outside of the ring.
Yeah, that's when you got to do the train thing. Yeah, chugga 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 chugga.
Anyways, though, the team, Mizmo, they try to whittle down Braun. They're doing a great job. At one point, they hit this great tag team move where Morrison tags in. Miz has him in the skull-crushing finale, and Morrison does a double foot stomp to the back of Strowman. Looks like he's done. Morrison goes for the cover, but Miz selfishly pulls him off. And then he's in shock. He realizes he fucked up. He's like, okay, cover him. But, yeah, only a 2 this time, so that was their undoing. Braun fights back, hits the big choke slam, power slam, gets the win, retains the title. But Mizmo, I'm liking them. They're getting more over with me. I like their little shenanigans. Not the comedy, the stuff in match I like.
Oh, okay, yeah, they're in match shenanigans.
Like that, like when they hit that double team move, I thought maybe they might win.
And you know what's going on with Mizmo, which we haven't seen with the Miz like in a long time, is like the Miz has a friend.
Yeah, because his wife's been knocked up and not around.
Well, I mean,
I guess also an actual friend, yeah, not his wife.
Yeah. Well, I meant a friend, like a friend in the locker. You know that? I mean,
yeah.
He spent years of
someone that can have his back.
He spent years of being the piece of shit or hovering around that IC title, doing a great job of doing a phenomenal job of it. He angers pretty much anyone who goes on Miz TV. I don't know why people volunteer to go on Miz TV anymore. They're just gonna get angry at him. And
they want to try to get their hands.
They want to try to get their hands on him and get these hands on him. And I'm just so glad that the Miz has a buddy.
You know, friendship is good.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
It is good, and they're more than friends. They're band members.
Of course, they're recording partners.
Yeah. Well, let's go on to the next. We got the WWE title match here. Drew McIntyre defending against Bobby Lashley. And MVP's out there. Lana's been told to stay back, of course. But you know what? I'll say this is actually a damn fine match. One of the best I've seen from Lashley in years, I think.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. I would agree. I was hoping this match would be very good, and my things were met. My standards were met.
Yeah, MVP. Just that little difference is so much better for Lashley having him here.
It's so interesting. And I was thinking the same thing. Well, yeah, what is MVP doing that Lio Rush was not, or what what worked for some and not for the other? Right? It's weird. It's weird how little changes can make someone over.
Yeah. But before the match can even officially start, Lashley jumps Drew, and before he can even get his coat off, he's got the full Nelson on, and he locks it in deep. And Samoa Joe was great on commentary here, just selling that thing. Like, he's got it in deep. It's deep.
He
was going
so
nuts.
Good.
So yeah, it had me believing. I'm like, holy fuck!
Samoa Joe is like he's added a level of so many other commentary combinations I want to see now. Like I think Mauro Ranallo and Joe might be like that kind of GOAT team.
Yeah, that could be deadly.
Imagine if Nigel was there right beside him. Like those three dudes doing commentary would be nuts. I would pop so hard.
That'd be awesome.
It could happen.
It could. They all here. They're all. Well, we don't know where Nigel is.
Yeah, we don't know where Nigel is, but.
But anyways, they get back to the match. So Drew is all weakened. Lashley's dominating him. We get a little scary moment on the outside of the ring when Lashley picks up Drew, but then he kind of slips and nearly drops the man right on his head.
Mm-hmm.
But Drew kind of rolled through at the last second. But then, he picks him up, nails him on the ring post. Bobby's hitting Drew with everything he's got, but he keeps kicking out. And one of the coolest parts of the match at one point, Drew McIntyre picks up Lashley, teases the tombstone. I popped for that. Is that a Drew versus Taker tease?
No.
You think it was just a cool moment?
I think it was a cool moment because Drew, they're on different paths right now.
Well, Taker's on his last ride.
Yeah, they're not giving him the WWE.
It was just a fun cool tease.
It was cool because presumably that's like no one can do that.
Well, eventually someone's got to bring it.
I mean, yeah, like 20, 30 years because it's like, Kevin Owens is doing a stunner. I mean,
yeah.
Everyone's been given people doing sweet chin music for years.
Oh yeah, and the super kicks.
We'll just kind of continue to do so. Who knows? Choke slams are all over the place.
Spears, which Lashley hits.
Yeah, he hit a couple.
hits a couple. Drew's kicking out, though. And this is when Lana finally comes down to the ring, gets on the apron. But then Drew headbutts Bobby, so he falls into Lana. She falls off into MVP. And then Drew follows up with the Claymore to get the win. Retain his title. But yes, great match, I thought.
Yeah, this was fantastic. Often with these two big dudes, you never know what you're gonna get. I think we love the little guy. We love the little guy competition, and the big guys can do it just as well. And sometimes we forget. And it's fun to see Bobby Lashley do a good match.
Yeah, it's just and the evolution of Drew McIntyre, where he is now compared to a year ago.
Oh my God! Yeah, pretty much. Rumble and onward has just been Drew McIntyre, the Drew McIntyre ride, and we're just on it.
Yeah, like when I was watching the last ride recently, the Undertaker thing, and they got to the part at Extreme Rules where a Taker teamed up with what was it, Roman Reigns last year.
Yes,
I didn't even remember it was against fucking Drew McIntyre as a heel
and
teamed up.
Baron?
Or Shane McMahon. It was Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. See, I don't even remember that. And that was less than a year ago. But that shows how far.
He was like his lackey there for a bit, right?
See? But look how far Drew's come. Now he's top babyface, arguably.
And honestly,
especially
like honestly, if you ask, the moment it all happened was that incredibly booked Rumble. Like,
yeah, that was an amazing moment.
Drew McIntyre would not be here right now if he didn't eliminate Brock after 16 dudes or so, after like up and down 16. Just such a.
And he carried his part of the bargain.
He truly did, and
that's why the crowd accepted. If it was Roman Reigns that had knocked Brock, they would be like, again,
again, come on, guys. What's he gonna do? Superman punch him over the ropes? At least like a Claymore feels a lot
it was so
more
the
devastating.
That pop.
Oh, that was huge.
Amazing.
That was huge, and truly, it was like the last big wrestling moment we had.
Yeah, because we didn't. Yeah, we had the Chamber live, but that's not as big as the Rumble, and then Mania, obviously. So yeah, that was like the last star-making moment.
It really was. It really was. And Drew McIntyre is just gonna keep. I hope he just keeps rolling. On to the next one. Hopefully, we can have another competitor for the next pay-per-view.
Yes. And then up next, we were supposed to get Street Profits and Viking Raiders finally settle it in the ring, but it didn't happen because it starts out in hell. The PC parking lot. Yeah. There. And now the new running gag is Braun Strowman's car is getting wrecked. So everyone gets beaten up into that. We get golf clubs, bowling balls, all these props.
All the props all the sports that we used.
Yeah, that we used the past. So Ivar bowls a strike on Ford's nuts. Dawkins tackles Eric through a plate glass window. And then both teams get up. They kind of help each other up, start limping around the parking lot. When a gang of motorcycles show up and surround them. And then the leader steps off and removes his helmet. It's Akira Tozawa. And then he signals for his group of biker ninjas to attack. So the Viking Raiders and Street Profits, they team up to form the Viking Profits, and they just take out this gang. So then Tozawa, he has to summon his secret weapon. This 7'3" ninja monster. As Tozawa just kind of sits there making these Tim and Eric faces. He's like, oh, yeah. But this big-ass fucking ninja, Ivar uses the Force to summon a turkey leg. I don't know. Eventually, they all fight. They climb up onto this series of trucks kind of lined up, and they run along the roof. But then the Street Profits and the Vikings start arguing about who beat the ninjas, so they start fighting again. Dawkins hits a big bulldog on Eric off the top of the truck into a dumpster. Ivar pushes Ford off the truck and then does a swanton bomb into the thing below. So all four men, they're down in the dumpster, surrounded by garbage bags. When the female ref shows up, because she's got to do her gag, she says, you guys are supposed to have a match in the ring. Ivar, you're cute. You not so much. You know how. And then the big finale, this monster tentacle just kind of reaches out to grab them, and they run off, like in Star Wars Episode 4.
Oh, really? I was thinking Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, this was a total.
It was better
surprise.
than the other stuff for me. What? What'd you say?
I was going to say this was just a total surprise for me.
In a good way?
Yeah, in a great. It would be like
it was way more entertaining than the other stuff.
Like if I was marking this paper, I would give it a B, but with extra credit. Yeah. Our cinematic pre-tape thing filled with soundtracks and flashbacks and the sound of them like judo chopping, like the
yeah,
like that was all there. And Yeah, Ivar getting his turkey leg, like Thor summoning his hammer into battle, and then just like the ended. It's almost like we don't know how to end this. Let's just make it dumb. Okay, great. And leaning into something dumb is fine.
Yeah, with that, yeah, the monster at the end. But yeah, it was a surprise, but it was it was probably more entertaining than just a regular match would have been.
And we got Tozawa on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I love that little ninja gang, which we'll get more of.
Hopefully so. I did right afterwards. I had to say, who the hell is this massive guy? Whose name I don't remember, but he is a PC.
I've seen him. Yeah, I don't think he's ever been on TV, but there's like pictures of him in the ring, and he fucking is massive.
Yeah, he's 7'3".
Yeah, like legit. That is not a work.
Like
that's not Big Cass saying I'm 7 feet when he's 6'7".
Oh really?
Yeah.
Big Cat, that's 4. You can't shave 4 inches.
I know.
Inches
well,
off?
his boots probably give him an extra 2. I don't know. But I heard him on the Stone Cold podcast. He's like, 7 feet tall. Is that a shoe?
I'm 7 feet.
And he's like, no, I'm 6'7". Yeah. I know, 5 inches. That's a lot to give.
I'm 6'7" and I beat up my girlfriend. Let's get okay. I think what? It's my impression of Big Cass.
Yes. Let's get to it. The moment we've all been hyping up. We've all been waiting for the greatest wrestling match ever. And before we even get to the match, the commentary team say, "We'd like you to know we have enhanced this viewing with unique camera angles and amplified audio." Which means piped-in crowd noise a little bit.
Which means piped-in crowd noise. They did absolutely nothing to the camera angles that were different.
There was one or two.
Did they have to tell us they were going to pump in audio? I feel like they just could have done it, and I would have been like, "Oh."
Well, I think they did it so they can't be like, we tried to trick you or anything.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, because you knew immediately.
Someone would be like, "Hey, that's fake.
Yeah, some mark.
You're a phony.
You're a phony.
A big flat phony." But yes, it's Randy Orton versus Edge, the greatest wrestling match. The intro I thought was amazing. They had the voice of the legendary Howard Finkel and the classic MSG microphones come down from the heavens. The ref was dressed in the old school uniform.
Even Lil Nate was in a little light blue
the
shirt.
full sleeve, the bow tie. It was amazing. So off the bat, I'm like, all right, this is already exceeding expectations a bit. And I'll tell you what, this was a damn good match.
This was a damn fine wrestling match, I have to say.
The psychology was outstanding. The callbacks, they start off with just traditional wrestling holds, reversals, running the ropes. Early on, Edge headbutts Orton, which busts him open above the eye. Seemed to be a legit cut. No blade. Mm-hmm. Didn't bleed that much, but for a little bit.
But then it gets that dried blood on your face for the rest of the match.
Yeah. And I did like the overhead camera angle they would go to a couple times.
Oh yeah, that's
like the bird's eye.
Yeah, it seems
nice.
like a boxing. That's like a boxing thing. You feel.
Yeah. And at one point, Randy has Edge just laid out on the announce table, and he gets right in his ear and says, "I'm gonna fucking kill you, motherfucker." And it was fully uncensored.
Uncensored for our
pleasure. And this
pleasure.
was pre-taped. This was pre-taped, so they left it in. They let it fly.
Hey, if you're on the network, you're an adult. You know what things are.
But at WrestleMania, they censored Edge when he swore.
Oh right, what did he say again?
I think it was basically, he's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you." It's probably
something like that.
But Randy's a bad boy, so he can get away with it.
He can get away with it. He owns a private jet, you know.
But no. They just go back and forth. Just tremendous storytelling in the ring. We get, people are stealing each other's finishers. Randy does a pedigree, Olympic slam. Edge hits a rock bottom at one point. And Christian's unprettier. Edge is bringing back all his old classics. The Edgecution, the DDT, the Edge-O-Matic. I think so. Yeah, Samoa Joe. He knew all of them.
Yeah. Samoa Joe knew every single name, and I was seeing them like, oh shit, and he was already there. I'm like, did they play? What?
It was like, yeah, and those were cool. It was like Edge's greatest hits, some moves we haven't seen in a while from him.
Which is also the name of the U2 solo album, Edge's Greatest Hits.
Really?
No, but
okay.
His name's
I don't know anything about U2 other than Bono.
And the guitar player's named The Edge.
Okay, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
I don't care about
U2.
U2.
One of those classic rock things? Yeah, but
They're
nobody
a band.
cares about U2, but...
Well, I mean, how many people can name the drummer from Queen?
I can. Well, of course you can.
Yeah, but he sings and, I'm in love with my car.
Roger Taylor.
That's right.
We watched
the average man
we watched 30 minutes or so of the new Queen and Adam Lambert thing on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Watched maybe like 25 or 30 minutes of it. Anyways, sidetrack. Let's get back. To this match.
We are, yes, because it is great. We finally, after Randy Orton hits an RKO out of nowhere, but Edge kicks out. Orton can't believe it, so he sets up for the running punt. But as he goes for it, Edge gets up and spears him. But that's not enough, so he gives him a second spear, and Orton somehow kicks out. So Edge just keeps on fighting, goes for a little springboard, but he jumps off the rope right into a super RKO. But then Edge kicks out of that. So we're getting near the nitty-gritty here. Orton picks up Edge, but then Edge locks in the anti-venom, his standing chokehold. But Orton kicks Edge in the balls, but the ref don't see it. So he follows up with the move we've been waiting a decade to see, with the big head punt, which finally connects for the first time in like 12 years.
Wow.
And that gets him the win. Yeah, he celebrates. They bring out a stretcher for Edge, but he refuses. But, at the end of the day, this was an amazing match. One of the matches of the year, but not the greatest ever. But, yeah, still, it's one of my best of 2020 for so far.
I certainly agree. They took this greatest wrestling match ever title very seriously. And they had the time to do so. This match was the longest on the card by like twofold. There was not a single match on this card longer than 20 minutes. This match came out like 45 minutes or something.
Yeah, it's got to be one of the longest singles pay-per-view match of all time.
It could, yeah. It could very well be. We'll have to check the notes on that one. Yeah. So this was just fun.
I mean, yeah, the tagline, it was stupid, but at the end of the day, the in-ring action was amazing. Yeah, I don't know if I would quite call it perfect. Maybe not 5 stars, but maybe 4.75.
Yes, was this the greatest wrestling match ever? No, but was it really good, and that's the best we could have hoped for? Yeah.
Yeah. I might even say it's the best match of both of their careers, potentially.
I mean,
depending on what kind of wrestling you like.
And and I'm sure the judges will tell us what actually happened.
Yeah. And Meltzer, I heard him talk about this match. He's like, because he's not, I don't think he's going to rate it because it was technically pre-taped and stuff. Okay. But he's like, it was an amazing match. It was one of the best matches of the year, but I don't know if it's fair. Same with like the Stadium Stampede, how he doesn't rate that match, I guess. So he's like, it's not really fair to the others, but it was an amazing match.
Right. So I guess he'll only rate a match now, I guess, if he knows it was not edited.
Yeah.
I guess that's his thing. So I guess a lot of those matches that were on the Double or Nothing card, I think he rated them all, maybe with the exception of the Stampede Super Crawl, whatever it was called.
Yeah, Stadium Stampede.
Stadium Stampede. That's what I was looking for.
But yeah, it went nearly 45 minutes, but it didn't drag at all. You've had 10-minute matches that seem slow, but this was just point after point, just storytelling. I don't know.
Yeah, no, like I said, all we could have hoped for, and a lot of fun to finish off Backlash. Yeah,
and apparently, as we find out, Edge tore his tricep during the match. Don't know exactly where it was, but I could see as he was laying there at the end, his arm was already had that purple bruising a little bit.
Tore his tricep.
Yeah, so that sucks. And then we find out our next pay-per-view, Extreme Rules, will be on July 19th.
July 19th. Get ready. We're
that's about a month.
About a month away. Extreme Rules. The rules are extreme. The rules that have been extreme are there have kendo pole on a stick.
Yeah.
That's pretty extreme. What else? One time we had a steel steps match. That's pretty extreme. What else?
I don't know. Well, we'll get to that.
We will get to that. And that was great. That was the Backlash pay-per-view. It was a great time. Let's keep moving on with the show here because this usually signifies the beginning of our wrestling week. The pay-per-views are done, and now we only have the future to look forward to. Unfortunately, we just saw the greatest wrestling match ever, so I guess us watching wrestling for the rest of our lives has become obsolete because we just saw it. But that's okay. Let's kick off our wrestling week the way we always do with the tweet of the week. It's the tweet of the week. It's the tweet of the week. Mike, you actually mentioned Uncle Dave talking about possibly not rating this match. I guess time will tell. I know Tommaso Ciampa probably gave it a rating because if you check out that punt, slow it down. There's a big old check.
There's a leg slap.
I'm sure Tommaso Ciampa just kind of like very slowly nodded and sipped on his beverage of whatever he was doing, approving about Randy Orton. Just approving of Randy Orton. This week's Tweety League champion, though, came last night, going on the Wednesday Night War, when just some fan reached out to Dave Meltzer and says, I really should not have watched New Japan immediately before AEW Dynamite. Dave Meltzer responds by saying, never watch New Japan right before any other promotion. Always watch it last. I have a rule for that reason. Watch New Japan and everything after looks way too contrived in comparison. We all know Uncle Dave's got his big old wiener nice and solid for that Tokyo Dome. However, some people don't agree with what he has to say. And our new Tweety League champion, our first time ever Tweety League champion, AEW CEO and co-founder Tony Khan, hopped up there on Twitter to reply to Uncle Dave by saying, we've tried to set a standard by frequently opening with great matches we believe can stand up beside whatever you watched prior, like Kenny or Pac, Nick and Phoenix, and many others. I enjoyed the opening tag tonight too. Watch whatever you want before Dynamite. I'll take my chances. Which is exactly that.
Tell
him. You don't have to watch anything in a certain order. If you don't like the thing, don't watch the thing. If you like the thing, fucking watch the thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Why can't we all just like it and everything? Because of course, New Japan is back.
Yeah, it's back.
It's back. We got this like the New Japan Cup, but now like they doubled the field.
Yeah, I don't know the whole details of everything, but either way, wrestling being back in more places is great.
Wrestling being back in more places is great. Tony Khan, you're the new Tweety of the Week champion. Let's hope that you can hold on to that belt longer than as long as Cody's been holding on to his. I want to see you keep defending yours every week.
Well, he has to.
He has to. He's contractually obligated. See, it's also a great way of keeping Cody not in feuds, but having him on TV every week. I think that's what I realized the most. It keeps him on TV every week and keeps other people open for feuds.
You do run a small risk, though, of too much Cody.
You can't have too much Cody.
Not me yet, but
not yet. In a couple years,
if he's taking up 25 minutes of every show, you're going to miss out on some people.
You may miss out. That's all. You may miss out on people. You know what? That's happening on Wednesday. Before we even get to Wednesday, we do have some fallout from the weekend because we are on Monday Night Live.
Let's get raw. Let's get raw.
That's where I said it. We are Monday Night Live.
War is raw.
Oh my God, I said Monday Night Live again. Fuck. Oh my God.
I thought that was a joke.
I know. No, I sincerely thought. You know what? There's like this building that I look out at while we're recording the show off. And it's just like a little apartment building in the background. It's just where I look when my train of thought's going by. And I need to start, like, when we're introducing Monday Night Raw, I think I need to write Monday Night Raw on a piece of paper and then just, like, stare at it while we're announcing the show.
I don't know. I just have a thing. It says Raw Notes. And then underneath, I have my note. Raw Notes. But that's where we are. Raw. It's war spelled backwards. It's raw.
Huh.
Well, the war zone. But anyways, the show opens. Randy Orton, he's coming out, and we do confirm. We show a nice gruesome image of Edge's cut open tricep having surgery. Mm-hmm. No warning. Kids watching it show it at home.
It's like 8 p.m. or like 7 p.m. on television. But okay.
No, like, we're going to warn you. This is graphic images. But nope. But yeah, Orton says, I did what I said I was going to do. I wrote the final chapter. I gave Edge closure. But I want to thank him for reigniting the fire in my gut. And then Christian Cage comes out to interrupt. And he gets in Randy's face, calls him a son of a bitch. And, Edge is hurt, but it's not over. So Randy says, Christian, you're jealous. I know what you want. One more match. But Christian says, absolutely not. I'm here for Edge. So Randy leaves and says, all right. But that offer expires end of the night. If you don't accept it, you're a coward.
Ooh.
So, could he come out of retirement? He's retired.
Is he?
Christian, he is.
How old is that guy? How old is that guy, do you think? 40s? Mid-40s?
Same age as Edge.
What,
Same age as Edge.
and what do we and what do we think that is?
Mid 40s, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
40. But yeah, so let's go on here. Angel Garza is taking on Kevin Owens. Just more dissension between the Vagabonds as Garza comes out alone with Zelina. But then Andrade comes out later. They all start bickering. They nearly shove Vega over again, so she just yells, "I'm sick of this!" And she walks off. You go, girl. You don't take their shit.
Don't take those men's shit.
Yeah. So Andrade, he stays. He tries to help out Garza, but Owens just hits the stunner, gets the victory. Owens leaves. The Vagabonds keep bickering, so Zelina comes out again and just says, "Get back here!" Like an angry mother. She just, yeah. You got to start fighting together, not against each other.
Why can't they just be strong? Why do people have
They've
to?
been losing a lot lately.
Why do
Yeah,
they have to
she's-
argue about all this stuff? They were just running the show on Monday Night Raw there for a little while, or like they were a great side plot to the Monday Night Messiah.
Yeah, but now they're falling apart. Vega, she needs to either find some new clients or whip these boys into shape.
Yeah, seriously.
But Lashley and MVP come out to address their little title loss to Drew, and they blame Lana. So Lana comes out, and she's like, "I did everything for Bobby. I put his career ahead of mine. I dyed my hair brown. I got a divorce." I like how she puts the hair dye before the divorce. But everything was good until you showed up. MVP says, "No, you're the problem, thought."
Ooh.
He calls her a thought on live television. I think that was the first time.
And now that's clearly a line that made it past Vince. Like
Vince has no idea
He
what a
has
thought is.
no idea. Didn't ask what it was.
He's probably like, "Oh, it's just some slang, some basketball term." So he calls her a thought. "You think the world revolves around you? Bobby didn't even have a title shot till I came around." So Lana's like, "No, Bobby, we were on a hot streak. Tell him." And he's just like, "We? When was the last time you did anything besides get likes on social media?" So anyways, it comes down to it. He says, "You've ruined everything. You used me for fame." Lana's like, "If I wanted to use my sex life for fame, I'd pick someone way better than you. Someone like Drew." So Bobby says, "I want a divorce." And the crowd starts chanting, "Jerry, Jerry." Nice classic. So they walk off. Lana's stunned. Hopefully this is finally the break apart for them, because Bobby's doing way better with MVP.
Well, yeah. Usually, when one person says, "I want a divorce," it is the end. The only thing I think we could say is we may get some kind of comical therapy session, some kind of couples counseling. You always want to, before you break up a couple in WWE, you always want to have them do the couples therapy, because who knows, you could get some magic.
Yeah, why not? We'll see. Maybe they could bring in Jerry Springer for a guest.
Why not?
Wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't that be something?
But who knows? All I know is Rusev doesn't have a job here anymore.
Nope.
That's unfortunate.
Right, he was
Out of all this.
Either way, Rusev's still at home waiting for something to do.
But then we go backstage. Street Profits and Viking Raiders talk about beating up those ninjas last night. When speak of the devil, Tozawa walks up with his little ninja gang. And Tozawa just says, "Sequel!" And they say, "Man, ain't gonna be no sequel, fam. But we can throw down any time." So Tozawa, once again, he summons his big old ninja, the 7'3" beast. And Eric goes to attack, but they hold him back. So Tozawa just laughs and walks off with his gang. And yeah, I'm loving Tozawa in this role. He's just a little shit leader of his little gang here.
Yeah, just this kind of like, he's like the little triad ninja guy.
It's better than being treated like a joke. Now he can like lean into it and be a little funny. Be funny in a good way.
Well, I guess because Tozawa for the last 2 months was winning on NXT and losing on Monday Night Raw consistently every single week. Now, he's certainly not a part of now the Cruiserweight title tournament is over. He needs to go back to losing on Raw.
Or being a ninja leader.
Or being a ninja leader, either one.
Because we get the Viking Profits taking on Tozawa and 3 normal-sized ninjas, as the big ninja just watches from the outside.
Yeah.
He's the final boss, like they're saving for later. So the Viking Profits, they just dominate these nameless ninjas early on. They hit Ivar and 4 hit a pair of big frog splashes to get the win. Tozawa never even tagged in. But after the match, him and the giant ninja get in the ring. And that's when you can really tell this man's size is impressive, because, even next to the big guys, he's like a foot taller. Tozawa's at like his hip. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, I mean Tozawa has to be probably a little bit shorter than us. You know, I mean he may
Yeah.
be like 5'6" or something, and just
Yeah, so
Imagine
just
looking
standing.
up and there's still 2.5 feet of people above you.
Yeah.
God.
So they don't know what to do. The Viking prophets huddle together and they say, "We want the smoke!" And then out comes Big Show. So face turn number 451.
And believe me, we're counting.
Yeah. Remember he just turned heel on Drew like a month ago after me?
Yeah. When his show came out on Netflix.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Forgot about
that
already.
was why. Yeah.
That's but anyways, he's here. He beats up some of the smaller ninjas to warm up, but then Tozawa and Big Ninja escape unscathed. So I'm intrigued.
So when they bring back someone like this, like a Big Show-esque, excuse me, who just kind of will come in and out, or you'll have that every so often Kane appearance, those types of performers, they don't announce those things beforehand, correct?
Yeah, a lot of the
Because
time.
I would, I could picture, you do it for the ratings, right? Bring back someone big for the ratings, and then you would announce it like, "Hey guys, you're gonna want to check out Raw this week because Stone Cold's gonna show up." And just having Big Show kind of pop up in the middle of your show or whatever I wonder if it's the same effect.
I don't know if Big Show is enough to move the numbers, anyways.
Yeah, is Big Show really pushing the needle that much? Even if he just shows up in the middle, it's hard to tell.
Yeah. I remember Stone Cold, they advertised that 316 day for him and Becky that last time.
Yeah, but certainly advertised, right? It was like, hey,
Yeah.
let's try to get the meat in the seats.
The meat in the seats. But let's go on here. Seth Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah, is coming out to cut more promos on Rey Mysterio and, trying to force him into retirement, but he wants to clear the air. He's like, "Rey, you're a hero. You sacrificed yourself." But Rey pops up on the screen. He's pissed off because apparently Dominic texted him he's on his way to Raw, and Rey didn't know until it was too late. And he just warns Seth, "Don't do anything to him." So they bicker back and forth until Dominic sneaks up behind and just nails Seth from behind with a big clothesline, starts pounding on him, throws him headfirst into the steel steps. So Murphy and Theory come out to help him. And this is where it's actually kind of interesting having the plastic barriers, because normally he could have just hopped the barricade and run away, but now they kind of have him cornered. So he has to run around the ring. They chase him, but then he sneaks off through his little hole.
Yeah, he had to find a little sneaky
little-
area for him to go through.
Yeah. But like a chipmunk stuck in a garage, it'll find its way out.
It always will find its way
Always
out.
will.
Another solid week from this whatever is happening.
So much better as a heel.
Seth Rollins is
will say it
like
every
Seth
time.
Rollins. This gimmick he's got to be one of the top heels in WWE right now. And
Yeah.
this introduction to Dominic has been perfectly spaced out.
It's been amazing. He's
Where-
not getting pushed. He's not over pushed. Now, we want to see more of Dominic.
Exactly. First, we met him in like 2002. That was first, and then we didn't see him for
Little boy.
as a little boy. We didn't see him until the previous Survivor Series, whenever that was in that sort of area.
He started showing up in the crowd to support his dad.
And then
stuff.
him and Brock, and then he went off again because that for last
Yeah.
6-ish months, and now he is back. It is fun. It'll be great to see how far this team could go.
Yeah, we're getting closer and closer to the official in-ring debut.
There
of
has to be
Dominic.
an official in-ring debut eventually, whether it's a tag match with his father or him taking on some kind of
this
jobber.
year. It's got to be this.
It's got to
year.
be this year. Certainly.
Maybe SummerSlam.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Ooh.
But let's go on here. Some tag team action. Liv Morgan and Natalya teaming up to take on the Iconics. So it's nice to have Liv back.
Mm-hmm.
She was picking up some steam. But the Iconics, they're looking to bounce back. And they did. They looked great here. Liv gets the hot tag. She's got Billy rolled up. But the ref's distracted. So Billy fights back. Tags in Peyton. And they hit the fall from grace to get the win. So keeping them in contention, I guess.
Yeah, keeping the belt, keeping it relevant.
Yeah, and then they cut a promo after on Sasha Bailey saying, "See what happens when we get to fight one team, not two. So get out here and face us because we challenge you." But they don't come out, so they say, "All right, next week then." So hopefully that happens.
Oh, yeah, hopefully.
Because that'll be like 6-7 weeks in a row of tag title defenses for this. I love it.
And of course,
Love
and
it.
it being on Bailey, we know it's got to get off her soon.
Soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bailey Dose Straps is having a good run. And then backstage, Natty's all upset about losing. And then Lana's all upset about her thing. And they have a little small bonding moment here. That could be a new something. Lana and Natty. I like it.
Aw.
Yeah. Then Charlie Caruso's talking to Christian about Randy Orton's challenge to an unsanctioned match. And he says, "All right, I accept." So, yeah, he must be cleared. Return from retirement. And, yeah, so just throughout the rest of the night, Ric Flair, Big Show, all these other legends just try to talk to Christian, hype him up.
Yeah, why was Ric Flair there?
I don't know. You really didn't need to
Yeah,
be.
well, he didn't. Yeah, he really didn't need to be. I thought like keeping old people away was kind of what we
Yeah.
were trying to do, but no. Well.
Yeah. And then backstage, MVP. He's doing his own thing, just trying to recruit other guys like Apollo Crews, who doesn't outright deny him. He seems a little intrigued.
Why not? Everyone wants a manager.
Yeah. So we get Apollo Crews taking on Shelton Benjamin. Just a nice, quick, athletic match here. Shelton goes for a pin, tries to cheat with the foot on the ropes, but the ref catches him. And then later on, Apollo rolls up Shelton, and he grabs the rope with his hand for the added leverage and gets his win. A little sneaky. Maybe MVP did have a little something on him.
Maybe, and even but well, at the same time though, Apollo Crews wants to keep that belt.
Yeah, he does. But that was a little sneaky.
A little sneaky.
But then we got Drew McIntyre and R-Truth. So throughout the night, they were kind of doing their shtick. Apparently, they're teaming up. Drew and R-Truth are teaming up against Lashley and MVP. And Drew's WWE title's on the line in this match. So he can lose the belt without even being pinned if Truth fucks him up. But anyways, Drew's in control of the match. He's doing well. Truth tags himself in. He stays alive long enough for Drew to get another hot tag. He hits the Claymore on MVP. But then he tags in R-Truth and launches him off the top rope for a splash to get the win. And Drew retains his title. And if this was WCW, Truth would have just won the WWE title.
Oh, you think so?
Because that's how David Arquette won his belt.
Oh, interesting.
He was tag teaming with DDP. It was basically the same match as this, although whoever got the pinfall would become the champion. So even if your own partner got the pin, you would steal his belt from him.
That's
so
funny.
that was stupid.
That's funny. Yeah, this
Anyways.
this match didn't really further anything, or it seemed
No.
super filler. Like Lana didn't cost Bobby Lashley the match. Truth didn't cost McIntyre the title. MVP failed. Lashley. It was like, okay.
Yeah, nothing really, exactly. So Sasha and Bayley do come out. They are here, apparently. And they're like, all right. We retained our titles. We're going to do it again on NXT. So Iconics come back, and they say, all right, you going to accept our challenge or what? Anyways, I don't know. They clap back at each other. They slap each other. And then Bayley freaks out and says, we accept. So we will get that match next week.
Perfect. Looking forward to it, too.
Yeah, I like the fire from Peyton Royce just slapping her in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Then Asuka versus Nia Jax, the rematch no one wanted for the women's title. Yeah, Nia dominates early on, including a stiff power bomb right onto the floor. I don't know why they're letting her do this, but
I don't know why they're letting her do anything, quite frankly.
yeah. So later, she hits a Samoan drop, goes for the pin, but the ref doesn't count because Asuka's foot's on the rope. So Nia shoves the ref down. He's about to call for DQ, but Asuka rolls up Nia and gets the 3 count anyway. So hopefully that'll be the
I was about to say, so does that mean, because certainly leaving Backlash, we thought to ourselves, another month of this. But seems to be like a pretty definitive win for on Asuka's side.
Yeah. And I mean, on the other side, it seems like they're going to have Asuka versus Charlotte sooner than later. So whether that's
of
Extreme
course,
Rules.
that's the match we're working to.
Yeah. Whether they can save that for SummerSlam or that's Extreme Rules, I don't know. But yeah, no more Nia Jax, please.
Please.
Please. But let's go to the main event. Or I guess it's not anything. It's an unsanctioned match. It doesn't count. But it is the return of Christian taking on Randy Orton. So they come out to the ring. Christian's all in his street fighting gear, I guess.
Yeah, that looked weird. It was like a 3/4
black
sleeve
clothes.
black
Yeah.
shirt. And because by now, because I'm worried, right? You know, Christian, a retired performer, someone we didn't even
due to concussion issues, things.
We didn't even know that he was going to be that he was cleared. You know, to work in ring. And thirdly, there was like 3.5 minutes left until 10 o'clock. So I'm thinking to myself, what? Uh-oh.
Yeah, what's going to happen here? And then that's when Ric Flair comes strolling out. And he just says, no, I talked to Edge. This ain't cool. Let it go. Ain't going to happen. So Christian just grabs the mic and says, Rick, I got to do this. So the bell rings, and then Flair hits a low blow on Christian. The evolution bond is always there.
It's always going to be there.
So Randy takes off his sweater vest and follows up with a big punt and then covers him for the 3. And then Randy just stands over the fallen Christian as the medical staff tend to him, put him in a stretcher. Randy's upset. He said, I didn't want to do it. You know, you're my buddy. We go way back like Edge. So maybe we are going to get Orton versus Christian at Extreme Rules.
Orton versus Christian. You have to wonder how much was rewritten after the supposed Edge tricep tear.
Yeah, because I feel like there was probably one more match between them coming.
Oh, yeah. I feel like they certainly would have had it, whether it was something for Extreme Rules or SummerSlam or. But yeah, if we want to keep this relevant while we wait for that third match between the two of them. Christian seems as good of a choice as any.
Yeah, so now that's just another guy that's come out of retirement in the last couple of years. So
just another guy. And
career ending. That gives people like Paige hope for the future.
It really does, And that was our Monday Night Raw, though.
Yeah, overall, you know, Randy, he's top heel right now. The Khalid, imagine him and Drew one day.
I gotta say, and like we were saying, I said earlier, the main event SmackDown seems a little lackluster. I've forgotten about it, and there's a lot of things going on here on Raw that is retaining my attention. Like we said, Drew's meteoric rise, the Monday Night Messiah, Dominic.
This whole episode was pretty great. Raw.
Orton, like Randy Orton. There's a lot of things, and of course this women's tag match next week. There are a lot of things that are very intriguing about Monday Night Raw right now, which I haven't said in years. I've not said that in a long time.
No, it's been great. This whole episode, pretty much everything led to something. There was continuous storylines throughout the show. My only question is, where has Bianca Belair been?
She
got called up. We saw her like once. I don't know.
That is a good question.
Because Montez Ford's been around, so I think they live in Florida. I don't know.
Probably.
I miss her.
It's too bad. That was this week's Monday Night Raw, though. Mike, I think it's a good time for us to take a break.
Yes, take a break. I have to feed my dog dinner, so it might be an extra minute. But
Mike's going to go feed his dog dinner. We're going to come back. We got the Wednesday Night War and trivia, so stick around.
Let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah.
We're back here with the second half of the show. Thanks for sticking it out through the break there, Mike. I'm sure all the fans listening want to know, you fed your dog?
Yes.
Perfect. Now, are you a dry kibble, any sort of wet element, or maybe something you cooked beforehand?
Both.
I think I said 3.
Well, it's all.
Oh, all.
Yes.
So you cook a little.
He has like this. Yeah, it's like this big old mush of different foods mixed together. Lots of healthy stuff, and then some kibble thrown in.
And some kibble thrown in, because I think it's still good for dogs to eat normal dog food.
Yeah, gets the job done.
It gets the job done. We're back here with the second half of the show, of course. Before we get to our Wednesday Night War, let's start the second half of the show the way we always do, which is with a little bit of trivia.
Trivia. Woo! Trivia.
Mike, I have 4 trivia questions for you this week.
I got 5.
Perfect. We know how to play this game. So, Mike, why don't you kick this week's trivia off?
All right. This week, you know what we're going to do? We're going to talk about the most important part of the wrestling world. Because you can't have wrestling without the ring. So I got some wrestling ring-related trivia for you.
Hey, lay it on me. I'm excited. Because this we're going to get some knowledge dropped.
Yes. So let's start off. Can you tell me the size of a standard wrestling ring in WWE? It's a certain, measurement.
Certain measurements.
I just need the feet.
Of course, it's a square by footage.
It's a square.
Let's picture somebody lying down in the middle of the ring because they just took a suplex or something, right? And let's say if they're fully sprawled out, a 6-foot tall looking person, I think you could probably stack at least 2 of them across. Is it a square? Yeah, it's a square.
It's a square.
It is a square.
So
I'm going to say you could probably put 2 6-footers. You could lay head to head. Maybe there'd be like 3 feet on the end. I'm going to say 15 feet. 15 by 15.
15 feet. You're a little under. It is 20 by 20.
20? Oh, Jesus Christ, eh?
Well, so that's the standard used in WWE and AEW. And then back in WCW days, they were 18 by 18, so they were smaller than the WWF. But those, 20 by 20 is this universal standard. 18 by 18 is WCW, ECW.
Was there an advantage to having a smaller or larger? I mean, I guess that's, that 4 square feet or whatever it might be.
Yeah. I don't know. Visually, I like the big ring better. Just more room to move around, more stuff you can do.
Interesting.
But who knows? Maybe, I don't know. But, yes, give me yours.
Okay, Mike, we're gonna play a game that we have played before, but we haven't played it in a long, long time. It's gonna be another edition of What Happened First, where you're going to receive 2 things. You're gonna have to tell me which one happened first, or the second part of the question, which I'm adding on, which we didn't do the first time. Maybe they happened on the same day. So keep that in mind. We are looking for what happened first. Maybe they happened at the same day. We don't know, Mike.
So if it's the same day, you don't care what the order of the card or whatever.
No. You can just say same day. Just say same day.
I'll try.
So I'm gonna give you the 2 things, Mike. We just experienced Backlash with the greatest wrestling match ever. We don't know how many stars it's gonna get, but we are gonna talk about other matches that got some stars from Uncle Dave. This is gonna be some 5-star match trivia. What happened first? Okay, Mike. So your first edition is what happened first: the first ever 5-star match, or the debut release of the hit video game Donkey Kong.
I'll say the first ever 5-star match.
You would be incorrect on this one. What happened first? Donkey Kong was released in July 1981. The first ever 5-star match was between Ric Flair and Butch Reed on April 7th, 1982. Close but not off a year later in a promotion called Championship Wrestling from Florida, or CWF.
Well, yeah, there you go. I knew the timeline of the Donkey Kong. I just thought Meltzer had something sooner, but
yeah,
that's on me. That's on me.
Well, further knowledge for you. This was this match was before he had the Observer.
Okay.
It was like, I think the magazine came out like a year later or something, but he was still in the profession.
Okay, fair enough. All right, my next wrestling ring related question. This one, I guess there's 2 parts to this question. You can get 2 points. So first of all, in WWE, what are the ropes made of?
What are the ropes made of? I'm gonna say it's some kind of steel rope with like rope around it or something around it. I picture like the kind of cable that holds up, like the kind of cable that holds up, like telephone poles, or like that kind of thing, but like a little bit thinner. I don't really know what to say, but so I'm gonna say steel cable wrapped in rubber or something.
Well, in the WWE, they use real rope. It's just real rope wrapped in tape.
It's just real rope, eh?
It's just real rope.
Huh.
However, WCW uses something different. I think you're. What were you saying there originally?
Still kind of like steel cable that's wrapped in something rubberized or something like that.
So that is pretty much what WCW uses. They use elevator cable wrapped in.
Okay,
rubber,
that's another. That's
which is pretty much what you were saying. So I'll give you that one.
It's weird that
and when you watch old tape, you'll note it. Like WCW ropes just look weirder. They look like one big piece kind of thing. I don't know.
And it's weird that there would be a difference between the two. I mean, of course, WCW did a lot of things to try to be them, their own. To try to be themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, like I said, 2 foot smaller ring, different ropes.
No, it's real.
Yeah, some wrestlers prefer one over the other. Some don't really. I think rope is used more now these days. Regular rope, just taped up.
Yeah,
I think it's less painful to bounce off those.
I can only imagine. And the entire thing is like, how do we reduce the pain?
Yeah,
possible.
I remember Mick Foley. In Mick Foley's book, he talks about training with like these super tight elevator cable ropes, and after running the ropes, he'd be pissing blood the next day just because his kidneys would be banged up from fucking.
Well, I'm sure he was pissing blood for a couple of reasons.
Oh yeah. Well, it was
probably all those thumbtacks he accidentally swallowed when he was being thrown down on.
Jeez. Yeah. All right.
Okay. Mike, my second question for you, of course, we're still on the same subject. So, Mike, which happened first? The first ever 6-star match or the first ever GPS satellites launched into orbit? The global positioning system, of course, something that you may still use on your TomTom or maybe use it on your phone.
Well, on your phone, even if you don't think you're using it, it's using you on your phone.
So, yeah, it is. Always have those location services turned off, by the way.
Yeah.
Always turn those off.
But you know what? I'm going to say, I'm going to explain my answer.
Okay.
Like they do on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So the 6-star match, I feel like, is pretty recent because I think for a long, long, long time, 5-star was just, that was it. That was the barrier. But then he broke it and then he broke it again. But I feel like that was definitely post-2000s, maybe even post-2010, whereas GPS has probably been around longer than we even think, maybe since the 80s. Who knows? But I'm going to go with GPS. Final answer. Regis.
GPS final answer. You got it there, Mike. You were a little off on your timing, though. Of course, the first ever GPS satellites were launched into orbit on Valentine's Day, 1989.
I said the 80s.
No, you did.
Okay.
You mean
about Meltzer?
No, I was just explaining. Just let me.
Okay,
go let me keep going. Yeah, of course.
I would have looked real bad if I got the answer wrong. After all.
Yes, you are correct. So yeah, GPS satellites were first launched in the air on Valentine's Day, 1989. However, the first 6-star match was a mere 22 days after that.
Really? I thought it was so much.
It occurred on March
No, I was way off.
March 18th, 1989, in a match in WCW between Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat.
Steamboat. Yeah.
Yes, there was a
I
stretch.
know the match, but I didn't know it was 6 stars.
There was a stretch of like 5 or 6 matches. You can find the entire list of all of his matches are up there on Wikipedia. There's a stretch where it's like 6 matches, like all the 5-star matches in a row for 3 or 4 years are all Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pretty
They
cool.
had some amazing matches.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. All right. Next ringside question. All right. This one. Mm-hmm. If you know it, it's really easy. If you don't, you don't.
Okay.
But let's hope you know it. So TNA. What was? They had a unique ring. What was unique about the TNA ring?
I'm gonna say they had it was the dimensions. I don't think it was octagonal. That sounds like too many. That sounds like too many sides. But it was maybe like pentagonal or sexagon. It's like I'm trying 5 or 6 sides. I know they had that.
Well,
there is a dinner. What are they called? Table for 3.
Yes.
With some TNA All-Stars. I think Joe, Jeff Jarrett, and AJ Styles. I think out of the 3 of them, AJ was the only one who liked it. I think, or maybe
a lot of people said it hurt more.
Or maybe Sting was involved in the conversation. I can't really remember, but AJ Styles apparently liked this this modification. I want to say it was a 5-sided, so I'm going to say it was a pentagonal ring.
Before I give you the answer, what did you say was after pentagonal?
It's sex something. I don't know.
Come on here. No, think about think about it. You see this shape all the time in everyday life. A 6-sided.
Oh yeah, I guess a stop sign. What's a stop sign? A hexagon? No.
Yes,
hexagon.
It's a hexagon. That was the answer, but you said pentagon, so I can't give it to you.
Can't give it to me. But it was indeed a 6-sided ring.
Yes, a stop sign, a hexagon. Not an octagon like the UFC.
Not an octagon.
So there's your difference. But a pentagon, that would be an interesting ring.
And you said apparently it hurts more, or
that's what they say. I guess because the weight distribution is not quite as, I don't know.
That's a good.
When you land flat, or like there's more corners where it's more painful. I don't know.
Yep, that's a good point. I mean, it certainly seems like the way that things are constructed make a lot of sense in a square because everything's even and just so, and maybe in the hexagon it becomes a little more difficult.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike. Got another one here. Got another one here for you. So what happened first? WWF's first 5-star match, or O.J. Simpson found not guilty for the murders of Nicole Simpson and Ronald Goldman.
All right. I think the first 5-star match in WWF was Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. And that puts you at October 1997. I think OJ was a little bit before that, like 94 or 95. So I'm going to say OJ came first.
You're going to say OJ came first, but Mike, we're going the other way on this one. WWF's first 5-star match was actually before that. It was the match, it's Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 10.
The ladder
match.
I fucked it.
That happened in the year 1994. 93, OJ didn't kill them. Was found to be proven to have not murdered those people in 95. It was WrestleMania 10 was right smack dab in the middle there. You are right though. The Shawn Michaels, there is a Shawn Michaels Taker match, which was also a 5 stars.
I fucked up. Yeah, Shawn Michaels is just the best, but I knew that match. I just forgot that. I just forgot it.
Just forgot? Hey, it happens.
Just forgot it. The ladder match. All right. My next question for you. Mm-hmm. This involves the ringside area a little bit. During the Attitude Era, WWF, their ramp, they had that giant video screen there every week. Very historic. Do you know what they called that video screen?
Isn't it called the Titantron?
And that's what it's called.
The Titantron,
yes.
Which
the Titantron.
I can only presume it's a Vince McMahon thing. Titan.
Yeah, Titan Tower,
Titan Industry, whatever he calls it.
Yeah. There you go. You got that one.
Yes, the Titantron. Because I guess
it was classic.
I guess
now they don't really call it that, but
not really, because I guess like every arena. I mean, Jumbo was taken. Maybe. I don't know.
This is bigger.
Yeah,
He's probably bigger than Jumbo. It's Titan.
Jumbo.
God damn it! The Beeftron. We can't call it the Beeftron.
All
right.
Called it the Big Beeftron. At that point,
Megatron. So we can't use that either.
Use that. Oh, why not? It's mega.
He really wouldn't know. He'd have no idea.
He'd have no idea. No.
Yeah. Okay.
Like he had kids and grandkids. Like presumably Vince McMahon had to buy like a little Transformers toy for a grandkid or something.
He just sends a secretary to go buy it.
Secretary to go buy it, or sends a money order to his grandkid.
Yeah. Writes a check.
Okay, now Mike, your final question. Your final question. So, Mike, which came first? Uncle Dave's first 5+ star match regrade, as if he regraded it later on, or the death of Rod Robbie, the man who designed the Sky Dome?
I wouldn't know much about him, but so the first revised 5+ star match. So he went back and made the rating better.
He went back. He went back and in this case he did make it better. Yes.
I'm gonna say the guy who built the Sky Dome died first.
You know what, Mike? We may have to look down to the exact minute, because this was the the red herring. They were on the same day.
Okay. I should have known you were. I didn't know if that was a swerve or if you were going to use it.
Well, you never know, right? So these two things happened on the same day. The match, which was regraded, was actually not too long ago. It was actually only in 2019 at Wrestle Kingdom 13, when he originally gave Omega Tanahashi 5.5 stars, but then he did revise it to 5 3/4 stars.
Wow. But he won't go back and redo Shawn Michaels Undertaker.
Won't go back
25?
and redo that, but apparently he's also since that he's also revised 2 other matches.
He's done a couple. I think he's also gone back and given matches worse ratings now too.
No, I didn't check out anything about worse,
because he's given a couple negative stars.
I know there's one. Yeah, there's
like Andre Hulk Hogan from WrestleMania 3 is like -3 stars.
Yeah, there's another one that's like -5 or something like that. Something just fucking terrible. But yeah, and then the other time he did it, this past Wrestle Kingdom 14, both of like the co-main events, he bumped up later. I guess it was just a long day of watching wrestling for him, and he got a little maybe got a little tuckered out. He fell asleep a little bit. It can happen, certainly.
It can happen. All right, I got one final one for you.
Perfect.
This one takes a little visualizing on your part, so allow me to explain. So let's assume the camera, whatever side the camera's on, that's the hard cam, right? Mm-hmm. So the camera is south, and it's always pointing north, correct?
Okay, I get it.
So in this case, yes, the camera is south side, that's north side. No, it doesn't matter which side the entrance is on, because they've switched it around. Sometimes the entrance is east, right now the entrance is north. You following?
Well, I think right now... No, right now the entrance would be west.
On the north side. No, because they have it facing the ramp right now directly. Normally it's west. But in the COVID era, it's been on the north side, right?
Oh, okay, yes. New era. Yep. Okay,
Sorry,
yep.
yeah, that's all. I'm just trying to get that clear.
Yep.
So for the sake of this, north, south, east, west. All right. So now I want you to tell me, because every match, the ring has 2 sets of steel steps that appear.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to tell me which sides of the ring they appear on. It's always in the same corners, the 2 steps.
Okay, so if we're looking at this legend of the cameras on the south side pointing north.
Yeah. The crowd is the north side that you see.
Yeah, so which corner is this steps?
Yeah. So it'll be, obviously, you can either say, like, bottom right, southeast. You can say whatever you want. But clarify.
Now, I think they're on... I was going to say...
Picture someone getting thrown into the steps.
Picture someone getting thrown in the steps. They're always on the side... Like, if I'm picturing, an arena television taping, they're always on the side that you can see people walk up on. And there's 2 sets of steps, you said?
Yeah, there's always 2 sets of steel steps.
Okay, are they on, in this case, would they be located on the northeast and southeast corners?
You got one.
I got one. Shit. Okay.
So the northeast and the northwest.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
shit. I picked the wrong 2 kind of sides. I knew they
Yeah.
would be together. Yeah.
Because the northwest is the one they usually walk in on. They come down the entrance, then they walk up the steps there. And then the northeast is usually beside the announce tables, and they get thrown into it there. But if you look at every picture, they're always in the same spot.
They're always in the same spots. Because, yeah, it doesn't make sense to have... It makes sense to have them walk up those steps because the camera could capture more
Yeah.
than... Huh.
It was a bit of a convoluted question.
No. I
something-
totally understood. Just one of those things you never think about.
It's just an interesting, yeah.
And-
like how in tag team matches, the baby faces are always top left and the heels are always bottom right.
No shit.
For tag matches, yeah.
No
Always.
shit.
Think about it.
Oh my god, I'm literally gonna have to rewatch
So-
every single tag wrestling match I've ever watched because,
Yeah.
I totally believe you, but
Yeah, baby faces top left, heels. I think it's for the camera shot. You can see the baby faces better on the.
well, certainly, yeah. The look of this, the struggling baby face trying to get the tag, is a way better visual than the struggling heel. We don't want him to get the tag in the first place. Yeah, you know what? It's so funny. These things have been happening for 2.5 decades. It probably has not changed, and it's just that's consistency. Yeah, you gotta say.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
And that was trivia.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Always fun.
Another week of learning a little bit as we go, but we do have to keep moving on with the show, moseying on with the show, as it were, because we've spent the whole show leading up to now at Full Sail. So let's just keep this party moving, because it's Wednesday night. If you happen to be a student at Full Sail University, get your tickets because it's time for some NXT.
NXT, what does it mean? I don't know, but it's some good wrestling. So NXT, watch and see. Gotta tap out a count out of 1, 2, 3. So
Not only do we have Full Sail crowds not there, but I think we do have a promised championship bout.
Yes, 2 championship bouts. Minimum.
A minimum of 2 belts will be defended this evening.
Yeah, because right off the bat, Imperium's here to defend their NXT tag titles against Breezango. But at first, they come out, they're mocking Imperium's entrance, their Emporium, the Marsupial and Fabio. But anyways, Imperium don't like the joke. They beat them around. They get the win, defend their titles.
Maybe, possibly their first title defense. I don't quite.
Yeah, I don't think we've really seen them since they beat Riddle and Thatcher. So, we need like we said, the NXT tag division needs some life. So let's do that.
Yeah, it really does. I've been thinking about this too, just with teams moving on, and of course the Forgotten Sons aren't even there to make an impact anymore. I've recently been thinking, what about Dream Loomis?
Well, there's speaking of that, we go to Velveteen Dream sitting on his couch, and Tom Phillips asks him about losing that title match when Dexter Loomis pops up behind Dream and leaves a nice little drawing of the 2 of them as tag champs. So hey, I like that. But Dream says I'm a solo act.
He's
But
a
that's it,
solo act, and Dexter. Well, I guess we needed our weekly get Dexter Loomis on TV.
Hey, that's the kind of thing though that this could shoot the tag division in the ass
It really could. It really could.
in a good way. But Damian Priest taking on Killian Dane. We haven't seen him in a while.
We have not. No, I forgot about him.
Yeah, he dominates early on, but Archer fights back, gets the win with the Reckoning. So
Yeah, Damian Priest still gets the win. He's going to keep moving.
Yeah,
it's no one really is a good match for him on the main roster right now. He's super talented, athletic, and big, and that's not usually our talented athletic guys are a little bit smaller than Damian Priest's way of going to it. But chubby Dean Ambrose is just a good foil for him right now.
yeah. So we'll see where that goes. But Xia Li is taking on Aaliyah. This undercard feud that's been going on for months. But Aaliyah, she drags out the mess. Robert Stone, who's got a brown bag bottled with him. He's drunk. He looks disheveled. He's all messed up. So Zaya's in control of the match when drunken Robert just gets up on the apron and pukes in the ring. Disgusting. So Aaliyah rolls up Xia. They botch the count a little bit, but she still gets a 3. So Robert Stone brand finally gets a win.
I didn't like this segment.
Yeah, it was kind of stupid. We've had puke and piss in the same week.
We did have puke and piss in the same week on the same show. I never thought we'd have puke and piss on the same show. It's like Robert Stone ultimately helped Aaliyah, I guess, but you look like a joke while you're doing it. Especially throw it. This angle in the middle of this feud isn't it wasn't funny.
No, it didn't.
It didn't really distract from the match, from two people who are pretty green to kind of begin with.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I guess at the very least, Robert Stone.
Yeah, Robert Stone got a win, I guess. I wish I could say the same for Sean Spears.
Yeah. What happened to that glove thing? Is he doing that?
He's getting
still?
wins on Dark, actually. He is getting some dubs on Dark.
That's true. We got a ticker this week on AEW, which was a little dark ticker. They tell you what happened. But then we get Undisputed Era. They having a little therapy session for Roddy because he's still freaking out about Dexter Loomis.
Naturally, he did get shoved. He did shove him into a trunk of a car, so naturally he's a little scared.
He was in the trunk one week. What happened last week? I forget. It doesn't matter. Kyle O'Reilly's here. He pretended to be a doctor. I barely even recognize him with the big bushy beard he's got going on.
He's really, he really, everyone out there who said, quarantine, I'm going to grow my beard, nobody took it as seriously as Kyle O'Reilly did.
Yeah.
No one.
So he's playing the doctor. They give Roddy the old ink blot test, and he just keeps saying things random of Dexter.
Warshak test, I believe it's called.
The Worcester test.
Yes, the Worcestershire test.
Yes, so there you go. And then backstage, Adam Cole's interviewed when Keith Lee approaches and says, "Hey man, it's not going to be Cross that takes the title, it's going to be me." And then he smashes the hourglass. I like it.
Yeah.
So Adam Cole comes out to the ring to cut a promo, and I'm the greatest champion ever, and I guess Lee's got eyes on my title, but maybe I want your title. I want to be champ, baby. So Keith Lee comes out. Before he could even speak, Johnny Gargano comes out to throw his hat in the ring. He wants those belts. So Finn Balor comes out. He says, "I don't wait in lines. I cut to the front." So he gets in Lee's face. So everyone's bickering. Everyone wants these belts. So William Regal pops up on the screen to settle this. He says, next week, Keith Lee versus Johnny Gargano versus Finn Balor for the North American title. And then the winner of that match faces Adam Cole on July 8th. Champion versus champion. Winner takes all. Oh, shit. I'm down with that.
Oh, shit, right? Oh, shit. It feels, it's like the level of oh, shit versus the level of time we have to prepare for this is not proportionate.
We got a couple weeks.
We have a couple weeks to set this up, because we set up what will be 2 huge matches we set up in one segment. Of course, this triple threat and then this winner take all, July
8th is the same part 2 of Fyter Fest, so that's probably why this is going to go head to head with that.
Probably, when Moxley and Brian Cage will probably be doing their thing in that second week main event.
I'll be honest. I think champ versus champ I give the edge to that for intrigue versus Cage versus Mox, but we'll see.
Yeah,
See who wins the other belt first.
we will really see. It's and I think the build up to Keith Lee and Adam Cole could have been built up to a pay-per-view, but in months down the road. But there's a chance that we're getting it sooner than we thought.
I just hope Killer Cross doesn't ruin it.
For Karrion Kross doesn't ruin it for
No
everyone.
bullshit.
I know.
Yeah, no schmoz. No schmoz.
It's just more of a matter of work your way there.
Yeah,
no problem.
I mean, July 8th, that's still like 3 weeks away.
That's not
so.
enough time for someone to be a fucking champ, though.
Well, maybe we will get the schmoz finish then, unfortunately. Who knows?
It's tough to say. I'm all for Karrion Kross.
Either way,
coming
we're tuning
and-
in.
Oh, well, of course we're going to be tuning in. We have to do the podcast the next day anyways.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not just observing, we're watching.
Yes. That is true, and we're anticipating something great because that's what happens on NXT. We get great matches most of the time.
Yeah, and undercard people get to see the light of day. People like Caden Carter here, who's working hard. She's taking on Dakota Kai. Excuse me, and of course we got Raquel on the outside causing shit. So at one point, Casey Catanzaro just kind of comes out of nowhere. Looks like a kid running out of the audience.
Does kind of, yeah. She's very
so
much
but
the
we love her.
size
She's
of a
great.
10-year-old.
Yeah. Raquel just catches her and throws her in the trash, which allows Dakota Kai to get a hold of Carter and apply this cool submission, kind of like a Rings of Saturn thing. She gets the win. Looking good.
Yeah, this was great. These women's undercard feuds that have been going for a while. Of course, Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai. No.
Yeah, they had a thing.
They did have a thing. They did have a thing, right? So I guess our current mid-card women's feud is maybe a little bit empty. These two are ready to do that.
Yeah. Bronson and Reed taking on Leon Ruff. You know what's going to happen here. Just a little squash. Literally, Reed squashes him with a big splash off the top rope.
Now, we've seen Leon Ruff get squashed before. This name keeps popping up.
Keeps getting squashed.
I really only remember it because it's RUFF.
Yeah, exactly.
Like not rough the way a texture is, more rough in the thing that the dog says.
When the commentary make the same pun every other match.
Rough.
Yes, and then Santos Escobar comes out with his crew, and he cuts a promo about being the new Cruiserweight champ, and that's when Drake Maverick comes out, and then he just jumps him. He starts beating him, but he's outnumbered, so they beat the shit out of Drake, and then Escobar hits this crazy phantom driver through a table on the floor. That looked painful. And then Drake's just taken away in an ambulance. So this Escobar, man, he's a badass.
Yeah, it's he's been looking great. I mean, all throughout the tournament, changed the name. Turns out he has a posse. You do need those kind of authority figures if you want to truly lift up this cruiserweight title and legitimize it. You do need to create a menacing force around it. Mm-hmm. Like Pac was always just a badass by himself. But badasses with more people is going to be cooler.
Yeah, I like it. And keep, the guys he recruited, they were, names that we knew, but not big names. So if he keeps he can make more out of them. Those Joaquin Wilds.
On all of these shows, we want more people recruited everywhere. We have the the Vagabonds.
Power in numbers.
The Vagabonds, the whole Monday Night Messiah thing. Now we have Phantasmo with his things. Of course, we have the Dark Order looking to get more people. We just want people recruiting people.
Groups.
Mark Stone, Robert Stone, sorry.
Yeah, but let's go to the main event. What I'm all excited for. Sasha and Bayley defending their women's tag titles against Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox. So, yes, very excited about this being defended here. It is. It's weekly now, these title defenses, the women's. Loving it. Shotzi, Sasha, they have a great exchange. I'd love to see that singles match one day. Two of the best hairs in the business.
Two of the brightest hairs, that's for sure. Best and brightest hairs.
Best and brightest. Tegan Nox hits a big choke slam. Lady Kane, Mara loves calling her. Sasha, Shotzi does a big cross body to the floor, taking out everyone. And then back in the ring, Shotzi hits the cattle mutilation on Sasha. But then Bayley grabs a chair, so Tegan stops her. But then Bayley just kind of flips Shotzi over into the bank statement, and she has to tap out. Poor Shotzi, but good match.
Took the pin. But yeah, good match. And like it doesn't matter who wins or loses, I think. We want to see
as long as these titles are featured.
Exactly. We just want to see the match happen anyways. We don't really care who wins.
And Shotzi's in the main event. That's cool. So
why not? Why not?
And then that's not it, though, because Boston Hug, they're celebrating when Io Shirai comes out and just starts unloading on both of them, sends them running. So what's going on? Maybe she wants to be Io 2 belts.
Io 2 belts.
She wants those tag titles.
And also that, the arrogance that we all felt towards Charlotte of she believes she can just come down to NXT and run the show. And it's nice to know that there are people out there saying like, no, you just because you're on the main roster doesn't mean that like we like you or you're good or we look up to you or anything like that. Like, fuck off. This is my show. And yeah, I think the NXT people should be trying to get like people should be not trying to like be so welcoming on other people's brands. Should be like, who the fuck are you? Smash. Like I don't want you here.
You know, Io Shirai versus Sasha Banks versus Bayley. That could be some good matchups there. So
of course. And no, we're not even at Survivor Series yet.
Well, they have belts. When you have belts, you can fight each other.
That's a good. Yeah, that's when it's
well,
allowed.
Those tag belts are a free pass.
Or else the brand to brand invitational would just be all out of whack.
Yeah. Well, they can use one of their 4 if they want.
One of their 4. That was NXT. That was the show.
Yeah. That was good stuff.
Yeah, another great week. It's still Wednesday night though. We hop on, we click down on that TV guide right past CSI Miami, right past Murder She Wrote, right past Judge Joe Brown, and we're on TNT because it's Wednesday night. It's time for some AEW Dynamite.
AEW, All Elite, they coming for you, Vince. Better watch out. It's too sweet.
We already heard the remarks from Mr. Tony Khan earlier on in the week and this show has been consistently starting off with hot matches, and this was no exception because to kick off the show, we actually got a tag title match for those AEW tag team titles. Of course, we have Kenny Omega, Adam Hangman Page taking on the Natural Nightmares, QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes. There we go.
Yeah, no, this was just a fantastic tag match, bell to bell. You know, Brandy Rhodes is out there. Britt Baker's sitting at ringside in her big little golf cart thing, and she's just sliding messages up to Tony on a little laundry line thing. That's funny.
Yep. Now, I know. Did you notice this a lot during this match? There was like bleeps. As if people were...
throughout the whole show, there was bleep. I guess people were swearing, and they're like, we got to bleep it this time.
Yeah, no, okay. I wanted to make sure I wasn't the only one who kind of noticed that.
So it kind of happened, like, people were in the middle of talking, and then they just, like, bleep, and I'd be like, I didn't catch that.
And, because at first I thought to myself, oh, you know, it was a horn going on in the background, and then kept happening, and it wasn't like, you know, where they'll just cut the audio out. It was a full...
Yeah, it was a bleep. It was an old school bleep.
Like you're listening to a Limp Bizkit record.
Yeah. Our South Park episode. Early 90s. Yeah, so that was weird. But, yeah, the match was great. At one point, that Jezebel Alley comes out. No more Bunny. You said that's been playing out.
That's been playing out for a little while now.
But not on Dynamite.
No, it's been playing out on Dynamite, but very, very subtly.
Well, yeah, subtly. But, so she's just full-on Alley here. But she's encouraging QT. She's on his side, and he puts up a good fight. But Omega and Page hit the last call to get their win, retain the titles.
And, of course, we did get our once a match Dustin Rhodes Destroyer.
Destroyer, yeah, he pulls out that, and he had a couple other great moves.
The Dustin Destroyer, which we keep getting. He had a couple like sentons running off the.
Yeah, he's doing that, twisting
running off the apron
or
something. Like if you want it, like career revitalization, Dustin Rhodes is like
moveset wise, he's better now than he's ever been.
And possibly than he's ever been, and I'm sure could be in better shape than he's ever been.
Yeah, well, yeah, he used to have a lot of demons, a lot of problems he dealt with,
and and the addition of like we're gonna get Allie Brandy.
Yeah, Brandy. She doesn't like. She was staring daggers at Allie when she came out.
She doesn't like that. She doesn't like another woman usurping her power. Of course, one thing women don't like are other women who are going to take their power away.
That's right.
So, and we haven't seen Brandy in a match since.
Long while, yeah. Since the Nightmare Collective days.
Exactly. Since AEW. I don't think she's been in a match in AEW.
Maybe not. Maybe Dark.
Maybe very, very early on. And it just hasn't happened quite yet, you know. And so maybe the addition of Allie into this, because now they're
Allie versus Brandy. Why not?
because now she's just been taken away from Butcher and the Blade for some reason. But that's okay. We keep going.
Well, yeah, they changed their whole thing now. They ditched the black. They ditched
Now they're white.
They ditched the bunny.
We're not sure what's going on with the two of them. Well, I love them.
Yeah. But up next, they show like this little video package for Anna Jay, sweet little girl, who's gonna have to take on this. I don't even know what to call her. Abaddon.
Oh my god!
This beast,
this
this
thing was
demon.
crazy as shit.
Yeah, I love it though.
Oh my god!
She's crawling down to the ring like a creature. She looks like a horror movie. She's got the I don't know. She's just great.
Different
Love it.
color.
Even the referee was scared of her.
Different colored contact lenses, which is a huge addition.
Yeah,
it looks
yeah,
like
the
she's
one white
wearing
eye.
like prosthetic teeth that you would wear
Yeah, everything
in a
about it was just
zombie
cool.
costume.
It was cool, and it wasn't like she was committed. It wasn't like the demon Finn Balor coming to the
Yeah,
ring.
and it
She was
didn't
the
feel
demon the whole-
weird. It didn't feel weird.
So big contrast to the sweet-looking Anna Jay in there. But Abaddon gets the easy win with her little... It was like a step-up Hurricane Rana where she plants her head right into the mat. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the match, Dark Order come out, and they present an envelope to Colt Cabana, who's standing in the crowd. But that's not all, because Dark Order, they then help Anna Jay to the back. So Brody Lee is making moves here.
Which
We can have our first woman recruit.
we could, because that's going to be a big moment when that happens. Not only the first recruit, but the first female recruit, which stinks. I like this, like, Broadway musical Anna Jay character. As soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Like,
Yeah, they
I'm
did.
on board. And now, like, no, we're going to
They gave her that whole hype package, and then
We're
they
going
killed
to
her.
lose it. Oh, no. I love this character. Came out with the little top hat and the bow tie and the little, and the,
It was a
the
swerve.
cane. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's going to be so cool.
Broadway baby. Your Broadway baby.
You know what? That comes across in one of those larger issues that I have of people in the locker room never coming out to help people when shitty things are happening to them. Like there's no you would think someone in that locker room would be coming out and being like, "Hey, you don't want to mess with these Dark Order guys. They're bad news." But nobody said anything.
Well, someone kind of addresses something like that later, but we'll get to it.
Okay.
MJF's taking on Billy Gunn here. Nothing too crazy, but Billy still in fantastic shape for his. Like he looks damn.
The
good.
whole gun club is there. He's
just ripped.
got two kids
Yeah.
that look the exact same.
He's got a son. I forget their name. Yeah, what's their name? Like Austin and
No, I don't
Steve?
quite. Yeah, sure. Let's go with Austin and Steve.
Yeah. But anyways, Billy, he hits that famouser at one point, but then Wardlow jumps on the apron to distract him. So, to distract the ref and Billy so he can throw MJF the diamond ring, which he nails Billy with. Gets the win after he clocks him with that diamond ring.
That diamond ring sneaks in every time
Yeah.
there. Of course, after the match, he's walking out on the side. He gets into a little tussle with Jungle Boy because of course Jungle Boy hasn't forgotten the events from Double or Nothing, and then eventually Luchasaurus hops over and they start brawling out on the sides.
Yeah. So then I think they announced next week Wardlow versus Luchasaurus. So that could be fun.
Yeah, certainly. Well, the two of the bigger guys in this whole thing.
Yeah. Then Britt Baker, she's just berating Tony Schiavone continually. When
Nonstop.
Big Swole shows up and just hijacks the golf cart and drives off with Britt.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. She thought he was, what's the old woman's name? Her servant woman.
Oh, Reba?
Reba, that's what it is. Yeah, she calls
Yeah.
her Reba, and then we have the little Big Swole there.
I think her name's actually Rebel, but she calls her Reba, and that's like the joke. but I'm not even sure.
okay. Well,
I'm not even sure I call her Reba.
she is
now
the role
because-
model, so not much we
Yeah.
can.
But anyways, this is when Cody comes out, and he cuts a promo, and he's basically saying what you were just saying. Cody got beat down last week, and there was no Bucks, there was no Kenny, no Hangman, no Dustin, no one saved him. Am I even in the Elite anymore? So that's a good point, Cody. Good
It's a
point.
damn good point, Cody.
Yeah, no one was there to save him. Then he hands things off to Coach Arn Anderson, who just says, you know what? Timing's not right for Jake Hager. But tonight, you got a qualified opponent. And so this is our TNT title match. Cody has taken on Absolute Ricky Starks, who is, I guess, former NWA television champion. I don't know much about him.
I don't even think I recognized this guy.
Yeah, I don't really know him. I think I recognize the name a little bit, but that's about it. But, he looked good here. We had a good little back and forth match. Arn Anderson's got his little play sheet at ringside. I want to see what's on that thing.
Yeah,
Like what does he need to have written down?
And because you can see, like judging by the camera angles, you can see that just enough that there is something written on there.
Yeah, there's like colored
Things
coded
are
blocks with different things written.
and they're in squares.
Yeah.
It's like they're.
Is it like football? It's like Cody Blue 5.
I'm picturing that because sometimes he will look at
pulls off the
his
move.
as if he's trying to call a play on his thing on
Yeah,
his
he's trying to
clipboard.
read
And he
them.
looks over
He
at
needs to do
Cody. He's
the-
like, give him the. Like,
I want to see him doing the signals like the baseball coach to the
yeah, like he's a manager.
up down pat pat up
he's
down
a
nice,
manager
across,
trying to call.
scratch
a
your lip.
fastball.
Yeah. But yeah, good little match here. Cody eventually gets the win with the Crossroads, retains his title. Apparently, this Ricky Starks guy is signed with AEW now, so we'll see more of him.
He signed with AEW. What a great way to bring him in front of the audience. I mean, for people like us, wrestling fans who didn't even know who he was, you put him in that title match. You don't lose by losing.
Yeah, now people at least know who you are. Like, all right, let's see.
Of course, we're going to see him next week and be like, oh yeah, it's absolute Ricky Starks.
There you go. Then we get Jimmy Havoc and Kip Sabian, who are now known as the Superbad Squad.
Fantastic.
Taking
Give him a
off.
name. I love it.
Yeah, why not? Give him a name. Give him more members. Let's
More
recruit.
people. More recruits. More recruits. Penelope Ford doing
there-
it.
But they're taking on the Young Bucks. And maybe there are recruits because the Butcher and the Blade come out during the match to distract the Bucks. So FTR come out to even the odds, and everyone's fucking around. So somehow Sabian gets cut open at some point. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know where
just had
that
blood
was
on him.
either.
Yeah.
But there was
I
a
don't know, just
fair
had
amount of blood.
but Whatever. And the Bucks do this really cool spot where they pick Havoc up and then they place him in a tombstone position on Kip Sabian. And then they super kick Kip's legs out of him, so causing him to tombstone pile drive his own partner.
That
some
was a cool
innovative
move.
stuff.
That was a cool move.
Yeah. Then they finish it off with the Kamagoye onto Kip Sabian, and the Bucks get the 3 count. And then after the match, just Butcher and Blade, FTR get in the ring, everyone brawls.
Everyone brawls. You know,
Everyone.
maybe we're gonna have some kind of big 4.
Yeah, we haven't had a big cluster tag match in a
Of
while.
course, and it would make sense that FTR's first. Have they been in the ring yet? Yes,
I think they fought
that
last
week maybe, but but it would make
Yeah.
sense for their first big thing to happen at Fyter Fest. Maybe the first week, second week, yeah, some kind of big multi-man tag that we know will be fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then backstage, or I guess somewhere around there, Reba, she finds Britt Baker. She's in a dumpster. She's just covered in trash. She's been there for 5 hours, she says, even though the show's only an hour long.
It's been there for probably 13 minutes.
So she gets pissed and she fires Reba. And Reba's like, really? I'm free? She's like, no, you're rehired. So she's back. Poor Reba, but loving the Baker. You know, she's staying
of
relevant.
course, yeah. In terms of staying relevant when you're injured, this is incredible. This is
it might even be more character development.
honestly.
Like she was already on a roll.
Yes.
No pun intended. But now she's even developing even more character with her little servant
Friend, something, yeah.
and the conspiracy. Everyone's a conspirator.
Mm-hmm.
She's like going after Aubrey Edwards. But anyways, let's go to the main event here because the Best Friends, they're the #1 contenders for the tag titles, but they're putting their opportunity on the line against the Sex Gods, Sammy Guevara, Chris
And
Jericho.
this entire time, anytime Chris Jericho mentions something French or something French Canadian, none of these announcers can say it. Like Schiavone, JR, Excalibur, everyone has a problem saying
Yeah.
"lay" or like "le champion." Everyone
Yeah.
has a
He's
problem.
like Le Champion instead of Champion.
And there was someone that,
Le
and
Champion.
this one, like Excalibur said, like "Les Sex Gods," and I'm like, nah. I'm like, oh my god,
Les
like,
Sex.
it's like it gets me every time too. Anytime there's something French, no one knows what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah. But this was good match, good fun main event. Orange Cassidy is absent at ringside as he's still selling that beating from last week.
You got beat. You got a big cut.
He got beat up bad to a pulp. And then Chucky, he's pissed late in the match. He grabs a chair, but Jericho just tosses him over the barricade, which distracts the ref and allows Sammy to nail Trent with Floyd the Bat. And Sammy falls up with a shooting star press, but he only gets a 2. Could have been it. So then Sammy starts running the ropes, but then the cameraman trips him up. which allows Trent to hit the awful waffle and get the win. So they're still number one contenders. But something's going on here. So afterwards, the cameraman gets up on the apron and removes his disguise. It's Orange Cassidy. And he's fired up. He takes Jericho down. He's pounding the shit out of him, followed up by a huge Superman forearm. And he just stands tall to close the show.
His Superman punch looks
It's amazing.
great. Yeah, like
And the way I don't know where he slaps, but you just hear every time he does it.
and you know, so many moves that we'll see other people do. We see a lot of destroyers, you see a lot of super kicks, and especially in WWE, the Superman punch is fairly protected to only
pretty much
Roman,
just
right? Like
Roman.
you can give a
Yeah.
woman's right, but that isn't the same kind of setup as the Superman punch, and it's great to see just somebody else do a fairly simple maneuver.
Yeah, Roman didn't invent it.
Of course,
right?
no, I know. I'm not saying Roman. I'm not
No,
saying
no,
Roman
I'm not
invented it.
saying-
It's just like it's fun to see.
And I'm not saying you're
And
saying.
I'm not saying you're saying. I'm not saying. It's great to see other interpretations of it.
Yeah, I call it the Superman forearm because I feel like he hits him slightly. With
Yeah, you think? I wonder if it's where the. And either way, I mean, Cassidy Jericho is something. Fighter Fest, like we said.
That's the break. Yeah, Tony breaks the news. Jericho versus Orange Cassidy at Firefest. That's huge.
It's huge match for both of these guys. Quite frankly,
Yeah,
you know.
And that's going to be a lot of Fighter Fest. It's cooking up. It's looking good.
Yeah, Fighter Fest is looking like a lot of fun. Of course, we'll have a preview for that show in a couple weeks. But that was this week's edition of Dynamite and the Wednesday Night War.
Yes, everything.
Everything, Mike. We covered the entire week. We covered Backlash, SmackDown, Raw. We had some trivia. There's only time for one more thing on this program, and that is the Wrestler of the Week.
With the wrestler of the week, of the week. Wrestler of the week, of the week, of the week. The wrestler of the week, of the week, of the week. Wrestler of the week, of the week, of the week. The wrestler of the week.
A lot of good action across all the shows. I had a lot of fun watching a lot of the matches on this show. Of course, my girl Anna Jay, that might not be Anna Jay for much longer. I just fell in love with her, and now she's being taken away. But that's okay, Mike. I'm actually gonna have to give my Wrestler of the Week to someone who had a tough mountain to climb, I think. And as soon as if a rock band called themselves the best rock band ever, of course that next CD they put out would be under a lot of scrutiny. Of course, you know, if you call yourself the best hockey player ever, of course the rest of your career is going to be always wonder, are they actually the best? And this week's my Wrestler of the Week, I'm giving to Edge, because that was a damn fine match, and they did that for like 45 minutes.
Yes, it was. It was everything that wrestling should be. You know, it didn't need the tagline, but at the end of the day, the tagline did not affect what happened in the ring, which was a damn good match.
And also, there'd be a better tagline than like Randy Orton versus Edge in a damn good wrestling match. Like is that a little wordier of a marquee,
Yeah.
maybe?
Yeah, you know, so it is what it is. But for all those exact same reasons, I'll give it to Edge as well. The rated R superstar. Well fought.
No way. Unanimous Wrestler of the Week. Mike, you and I are really on a streak, because this is actually our third week in a row of unanimous
Champ.
Wrestler of the Weeks. Yes, Drake Maverick, Io Shirai, and now of course Edge.
There you go. Yeah, well deserved.
Well deserved.
And
by all
just, you know, Randy Orton, a very fair runner-up. You were in the race as well, but you've had a lot of titles recently.
Yeah, no, Randy Orton, you're just keep tweeting. You're gonna keep getting titles.
Yeah, keep
baby.
tweeting. You got that thing on lockdown. I don't think Edge tweets much, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine. Unless Beth Phoenix is doing all that tweeting, I'm pretty sure you'll be good. And there you have it. That was this week's episode of the Super Brothers Wrestling Podcast. Remember to rate, review, like, and subscribe to the show everywhere. Mike, we still have a couple weeks before Fighter Fest, and of course before Extreme Rules. So we actually have some time to just chill out.
They'll be like our first in-between show in a while.
Yeah, it just be some time to just chill out and really enjoy this week's programming. Mike, anything else you want to say to the kids at home before we sign off?
No, that's everything, I guess.
That was it. That was everything. Thanks for listening, folks. Mike, you take care of yourself. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Shoot.